We had some exciting college news. One of my favorite running backs, Eddie George, has agreed to become the new head coach, Tennessee State University, historical black college and university. And he's bringing legendary coach Jeff Fisher along with him. Can we just stop, pause, celebrate, and say, wow, what a pickup. Good job, TSU. I think Eddie George is going to do a pretty good job. And I saw Deion Sanders come out and say it. He said, he doesn't want to start a trend. He's not saying it's a trend, but there are other players such as Ray Lewis and Ed Reed who want to coach, and specifically coach for historical black colleges. I think it's a great thing, man. I think it's a wonderful move. I would like to see it happen more. But two things I'll say about this. Number one, just because you have a former NFL coach or NFL player and a former NFL coach coming to the HBCU ranks does not mean that Tennessee State University is going to just overnight become this unstoppable force. People thought that was going to be the case with JSU, and we see it's not. You're still dealing with recruits who need to be developed. You're not dealing with the best recruits in the state or the best recruits in the nation. These NFL players, when they start coaching in these HBCUs, they have to really focus on player development. And I believe it's going to have to come with a great deal of patience. There's some ballers in HBCUs. We know that all across. But the expectation that these teams are going to become dynasties because they have these coaches, I think is a little unrealistic. Could it happen over time? Of course. But it's going to take time, but I think it's good. And I think that this will begin to develop a pipeline, a serious pipeline for top recruits coming from high school to HBCUs. I would love to see it. I would love to see Ray Lewis at a squad. We'd love to see Ed Reed coaching a squad, HBCUs, man. Getting the African American players, kind of back to our roots, getting them to those historical black colleges and universities. But don't get it twisted. It's not going to happen overnight. There's a lot you're going to have to fight to get these kids not to go to Clemson, not to go to Florida State, not to go to Miami, not to go to Alabama, not to go to Georgia, not to go to Notre Dame. There's going to be a lot of selling that Eddie George, Jeff Fisher, Deion Sanders and his staff, and if other former professional football players want to go to the HBCU ranks, there's going to be a lot of selling and recruiting that they are going to have to do to convince these kids to come and play for them. And I think one of the things that they could use is, you get a chance to trailblaze not just a trend, but a legacy. I didn't go to an HBCU. I have friends who have. And man, the legacy that you get a chance to be a part of and create by being a part of one goes a very long way. And I believe that could be a great sales pitch, if you will, to get these kids to come play for them. If you've attended an HBCU, let me know in the comments, man. And let me know, how do you think Eddie George, Jeff Fisher, Deion Sanders, for their respective teams, can go about recruiting high school football players to come and play, to turn down P5 offers to come and play for schools like Jackson State and Tennessee State? And most importantly, how is it beneficial to the players to come and play for an HBCU? Now technology is to where you don't have to be at the biggest school to get picked up, to go to the NFL, to get drafted. Talent makes noise. Talent makes noise. If you're talented, eyes will get on you, will be on you. So I think that is definitely a benefit for these new coaches at these HBCUs. But I love it. I love it, man. I want to see it continuing to happen. If my son decides to play a sport and he's any good at it, I would definitely entertain going to an HBCU. Once again, I'm learning more about it. Y'all let me know in the comments how you guys feel about HBCUs and how HBCUs can capitalize on these big name coaches coming to the program and getting recruits.